Join me as I take on the challenge to make the best pizza using the Gosney Arc XL. Do you think I can make the perfect pizza? Stick around and let's find out. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. It's the Pizza Guy John. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through the steps that I take to make the perfect pizza in the Gosney Arc XL. First thing first, before we even get to making any pizzas, let's go ahead and make sure that our oven is preheated. This is the Gosney Arc XL. Again, I've had it now preheating for around 30-40 minutes. And again, that's going to be the first step of making the perfect pizza in the Gosney Arc XL, is making sure that, again, it is preheated to the proper temp. Let's go and take a look. Right in the middle, we're looking close to 545, 290 Celsius. On the far right hand side, 600, 700, closer to the flame, 387, 559. So we're going to go ahead and get it turned back on. Once it's at the proper temp, then I'm going to go ahead and get it turned down. That way we're not burning the bottom. But again, we're just going ahead and let that preheat it. If we take a look at the internal temperature of the oven, we're looking about 846 degrees Fahrenheit. And if we switch that, 452 Celsius. So the oven is pretty hot as far as the internal temperature. Again, the stone, you want it to be roughly around 750, 800 degrees. And so if we're shifting that back, so we're looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take you back inside, talk to you about my second step. And then while I'm talking to you about that, the oven should be preheated to the proper temperature. All right, and so now while the oven is preheated, let's talk about the dough. Again, we're looking at a 48-hour dough. I'll go ahead and link that above. Again, you could choose any sort of dough recipe, but again, if you want a really good 48-hour dough, you could also turn that into a 24-hour dough. Then this is going to be the dough here. Results in nice airy crust and just overall flavor. This is with 00 flour. You could use all-purpose flour, whatever you have available to you. But again, I'll go ahead and link that video above. Also, there's some other videos on my channel that you could check out on how to make some pizza dough. But again, any sort of pizza dough will work perfect in the Gosney Arc XL. But I find, again, a 48-hour dough is just perfect. You can see the air is in this dough. So that's going to be my second step. Again, just making sure you have a good, proper dough. This dough is fermented really well. So again, it's airy and it's ready to go. As far as toppings, you don't want to go too crazy. We got cheese, we got some sauce, you got some semolina to help stretch the dough. If you have semolina or flour, either one of those will work. Semolina, this is a fine semolina. Again, I'll put that down below, but it doesn't burn in the oven compared to a flour. Flour does burn, gives more off of a bitter flavor. So again, semolina is going to be what I recommend as far as cooking in a high heat oven. And again, we're just going to be going down with some cheese. This is a low moisture mozzarella cheese and some tomato sauce. The sauce is at room temp, so it's not out of the fridge. Again, it will be at room temp. All right, so now that the oven is still preheating, let's talk about stretching and getting the perfect dough ball. So again, what you want to do, if you've balled it up nicely, of course, it's going to be a round dough ball. But again, you want to make sure that you're taking it out easily and keeping it within the shape. So what I'm doing here is I am cutting the edges, pulling it apart from all the other dough. And I'm going to get some more semolina here. And again, you want to make sure that you're keeping it within the roundness of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just spin my dough box around. If you're not using a dough box, that's fine. Again, whatever is available to you. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get just a little bit more semolina here. I'm going to get it underneath. And while I'm doing that, I'm also putting my hand underneath it, going all the way around. And again, you're making sure that it's staying round and you're flopping it into your semolina. And then what you're doing now is you're putting some more semolina on top and you're flipping it around, again, ensuring that you're keeping it round as possible, taking off some of that semolina. And as you can see, it's not round, which is fine. What you can do is you can also just go ahead and just gently make it round. So as you can see now, it is a round dough ball. And now to make sure that we're getting nice, even round crust, you're going to go ahead and just be using your fingers like that. I like to put 3 on top like that. And what you're doing is you're basically just pushing from the bottom and you're building that small crust here. You flip it over. Same thing. Going all the way to that crust. And you're going to get some bubbles, and again, now you're grabbing it, flipping it over again. As you can see, we're keeping it round, and again, we're just pushing all the way to that crust, flipping it over, keeping it nice and round. And again, same thing, all the way to the edge, getting that nice crust. And you can also just get some of these big air bubbles out as well, which is fine. It will just burn in the oven. Once you do that, you want to go ahead and just flip it in your hand, get some of that semolina off. And now we're just stretching. Again, you learn how to stretch. And again, you could do it different ways, any sort of way, but you're just getting it to about a nice 12-inch pizza. And the dough is nice and fermented, so you want to make sure that we're keeping it nice and round and not messing with it too much. At this point, we're going to go ahead now and get some of our sauce. It's just a ladle full right down the middle, and now you want to work pretty quick because again, now the sauce is on top. Chances of getting it stuck is pretty high, so you want to make sure that you're stretching or putting it and topping pretty quickly. Going down with our cheese. And about that as much cheese. You could do a little bit more, that is up to you. And we're gonna go with our pill here. Now to make sure that we're getting it onto the pill, again, you wanna lift it up. You have your hand right here and you're just going underneath and you're pulling it. All right, and then now we're just kind of getting this onto it, and this is a 12-inch pill, so it's going to be perfect, and we're going to go straight into the oven. All right, so when you're going in the oven, you want to make sure that you do it all the way at the end, and then you're just pushing it and pulling it and letting it work its way off. All right, and just like that, we'll then turn it down to about medium heat. And this shouldn't take too long. Again, the oven is looking pretty nice. And because this is the Gosney Arc XL, again, the left hand side is going to cook a little bit quicker, so you want to make sure you get your pill underneath, and you can see that it's cooking nicely. And get it back into the same spot. The crust is looking good. We're gonna go ahead go underneath, and again, it's gonna cook pretty quick. And again, you're spinning it around every 30-40 seconds or so. Crust is looking nice, making sure we're checking it. And again, we just need this little side here. And we'll just get this little side right here. And just like that, the pizza is cooked. As you can see, it's nice and round. Crust is cooked all the way. Let's take a look at that bottom. Bottom's cooked all the way around. So let's go ahead and go inside. All right, so this is the pizza that was cooked in the Gosney Arc XL. As you can see, the crust is cooked evenly all the way around, minus this little spot here that got a little burnt, but again, that's fine. Adds an extra little flavor. Let's go ahead and take a look at that bottom. Bottom is cooked nice and evenly all the way around. So again, you saw my steps on how to make the perfect pizza. Comment down below if there's anything that you like, any steps that I might have missed, or maybe something that you do differently. But if this is something you guys like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos on my channel. Check out my Instagram at the Pizza Guy John, and we'll talk there.